Reaper, are you in?
Yeah.
We're waiting on Reaper. Waiting on your introduction, bro. You in?
Well,
Go
it's your
ahead.
stream, dude. It's your stream, dude.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, well, okay, you didn't start talking, dude. I didn't know if it was actually streaming and people can hear me.
We got old dude T Reaper in the building. He's being shy tonight. He's acting like he doesn't know what to do. Um, guys, I got old dude T Reaper in the building. A good comrade of mine. Thank you for coming out today on Direct Gaming, sir. And
Oh,
it's
you're
good to
very
have you,
well.
man. It's good to have you.
You're very welcome.
As y'all can see,
I
I'm playing his game right now, getting my intro up. I'm not on Gears. I'm on this Halo. I did this for him. This is gonna be his show tonight. He's got a lot to talk about, and we're gonna get it done, man. I might got killed. I might have got killed. I almost did. But Reaper, man, like I said, it's good to have you. It's really no introduction. You've been on here before. Good friend of mine,
well,
man. I appreciate you.
I appre I appreciate you having me on. It's rather fun now that I have an actual mic that works.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him have some fun tonight, and I'm gonna sit back and enjoy him. He's got a lot of things to talk about, and I think what he's got to talk about is pretty interesting. So I can't wait to hear what you got to say, man. And let's start it up. Thank you all. You could have been anywhere else in the world tonight. You decided to come in here and wild out with us on Direct Gaming, and for that, man, we are eternally thankful. We enjoy what we do here. It's Xbox Strong all day. Thank you all for tuning in. And Reaper, take it away, man. Here's the mic.
Okay, well, as I, as this is not my stream and this is not my podcast, I'm gonna leave it to legal to ask the inquirers of what the rumor to fact to what we think is coming, all that stuff. Legal, you can ask away, and I will just reply
All
with my
right.
honest opinion.
Okay. Okay. So here's some good questions, man. Okay, I think I got some good questions for you. All right. So, what do you think is the proper future plans of Microsoft considering Xbox as a brand and a gaming entity? Where do you think they're going with this?
Options: play anywhere, power of the cloud.
Okay. Now break that down. What do you mean by that?
You need to explain to me very calmly what do you mean by you don't
Well,
understand the idioms that I
well
just used.
through those segments that you just brought up, those definitions that you just brought up, and sequences. Um,
Okay. All right.
what do you think
I
the plan
I
is?
The plan is to have everything in your living room
Hmm.
at the touch of a button anywhere you choose.
Okay. Now, is that so
And
hard to understand, or do you think that people are just don't want that to happen? Do you? It's already been
um
told to us. So, do you think it's
no,
more like whether people believe it or not?
I don't bel I personally don't think people believe it's real.
Right.
I think everybody might be just too stuck in fandom to honestly understand anybody or understand education beyond 2005, but
Right.
that is just me. Um, but those who like are IT educated on YouTube, for example,
Right.
they know what they are talking about. They do not know the or actually I'll paraphrase that instead. They do not appear to know what the true meaning is of what they are describing. They
Okay.
know what it is, but they do not understand what it really does and what it is really for and what
Right.
it is really built and foundation for. Now, that could be several reasons. Maybe they were never taught that, several reasons why. But at the same time, we've been using this technology for over 2 decades now, and I am surprised people don't understand what it is, considering everybody does use it
Right.
on a
There's a lot
day-to-day
of
basis.
talking. Right. Yeah. You use it, and there's a lot of talking, and it's like, how do you not know? You do a lot of talking. You know. How do
And
you not
then you
know? You got
got,
to study this stuff.
well, not really. I mean, all you gotta do is watch,
Oh,
Sylvester
you
Stallone and wonderful Michael B. Jordan in frickin' Creed, and he says
Creed.
it right on the
That's
frickin'.
right. Oh, Creed.
I mean, I don't really know how much you could see it on
Right.
screen.
Right.
Uh, you know, I've seen certain other shows now use it in reference
Right.
actually.
Right.
Um, You had Altered Carbine being the actual concept of it, just in a fantasy form.
So within this cloud that we're talking about tonight, um, T Reaper, I brought, since we're on that subject, we know that the that the Azure cloud is phenomenal. We know that it's unique. We know that it's powerful. Um, where do you think people are at in terms of believing that this cloud can be utilized for just about um, any kind of hardware situation, considering the GPU or CPU, um, in the GPU and CPU space, where it can actually help in that area as far as mitigating things like storage, um, um, resolution, objects. Um, what I mean by objects, more things that devs can actually put in a game. It can make a game. It can help with a game being larger. Um, it can. It can. It can also utilize frame rates. But people think that I'm playing around. It is kind of hard, T Reaper, for people to think that we're joking when we talk about this type of stuff. We're not. This stuff is this stuff is real. When we talk about, I'm gonna let T Reaper elaborate on this one, but I don't want to get too much of the credit. But when topic of discussion with the teraflops, for instance, and we hear things like, oh, the Xbox Series X has the capabilities of having 25 teraflops when considering ray tracing. People want to laugh at that because T Reaper, the thing about T Reaper is
No, no, they don't. They're not educated to understand how.
right,
And again, that's understandable. I mean,
right.
half this generation dropped out of high school. No pun there, but all right,
But
but
no, the reason what
the
I was gonna say at the end was T Reaper has a PC. Okay, guys, he has a PC, and it's not like that's why it's good that when I mentioned that, it's not like it's coming from an area with him where it's just it's not something that he doesn't even know nothing about. So that's why I wanted to say that. So go ahead, T Reaper.
but yeah, but see, that's understandable. But like when you, and this is kind of where it's kind of funny. Like when you're a fan of something or you are passionate about something, you would think you would actually know the origin of how it was originally come to be. And I'm gonna give Heba a shout out because he made a very good point. They don't, and that's kind of the core concept of casual gaming because you're not really dedicated to know, bottom, roof, middle, center, everything about the thing that you just use as a hobby. That's why
Hmm.
it's called a casual hobby. It can also be called a higher echelon hobby. And I've noticed when, I get into debates on Twitter and stuff,
Hmm.
people don't really understand right away what I mean. And it's very easy to understand if you've been around since, 1995. But that's okay. But I think that, most people, just think Sony and Mark Cerny is basically everything, and everything Mark basically says, true, which isn't true, but
Right.
it's all fandom and, make believe that, PlayStation is, the one all be all, which is fine, I'm not, that's one reason my Instagram is half, PlayStation and half everything else.
Right.
They understand that what I am and what I do, and they think it's absolutely hilarious. I got people laughing at my jokes all day. But it's just, after a while, what ends up happening is, people just believe the lie over and over again until they don't believe anything else.
Right. Or until it has to reveal itself, and then it's like, oh, but I mean, what's your take on the Azure cloud and the Xbox? I mean, people. Hey, listen. There's people that don't even believe that the Xbox is actually inside the Azure blades. These servers and things, man. They don't. The thing with me. I think that people are more. Hey, if they don't see it, then it can't be true. They're so stuck on this
But
traditional aspect of things. And that's the problem. Um, this
they
thing
don't
isn't going to be
they
traditional.
lack. Now, the average gamer and the average fan nowadays lacks imagination and lacks innovation, which go together really well when you're trying to, aspect to a sector or a fandom of any type of game type whatsoever. You gotta
Right.
be both evolutionary and basically know what you're doing. And most of the time, all these casual fans, whether they love playing games or not, only know kind of like the casual concept. Kind of like if you don't want to take driver's ed, you basically decide to basically do a roundabout loop in the middle of the highway. There, you know how to avoid traffic. You
Right.
know, but at the same time, you don't know what a stop sign is. You don't know what the lights mean when they turn yellow, red, and green. You miss all this like empty information that you don't know about because you only know, the middle or the top. You don't know the actual base. And if you don't know base, you can't go forwards or backwards, as I've said before.
So, so let's just say this: with everything that's happening right now, right, and
Hmm.
all the possibilities that can occur, Reaper, I'm looking at it like this. One of my what ifs. Okay, here's my what ifs, and I know I'm speaking off subject right now, but what if? What if it is absolute truth, right? Because I believe it, but I'm this is one that I want to see. It's not they did this is not something that they confirmed but it's something that I would want to see. Okay, here's what I would want to see. What if, man, that any physical copy that's an Xbox game can be played on the Series X, man. As long as it's physical, it can be played. As long as it can be a disc, it can get in there. Now, digital it may be different, due to digital situations, but as long as you got a physical, I was going to say hard copy, but as long as you got a physical copy of it and you put it in there, it should be able to play the game. As long as it's an Xbox game, it doesn't matter if it's a third party or first party. If that happens,
Uh,
T Reaper, that would be a great accomplishment in my eyes. Because I can see it actually happening with the Azure. I can see that happening. But I just wanted to see what your take is on that. I mean, that to me would be something that would be a good reason to utilize it for. When they say, we're going to have back compatible games, listen. I know that this generation was built off of certain ones. They did what about between 250 to 300, and that's all they did. So I know we're getting more than that. They said thousands when it's ready. So hey, if they made them digital, great. If they make them
hmm
to work, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to,
No, I get it.
but you
No,
get
I
what
get
I'm
it. No,
saying.
keep going.
So I'm looking at it like
My short take is
right.
in the near future, the only
Hmm.
thing you're going to need to do is need to game is basically electricity. That's
Right.
it.
So something to make sure that it can be worked plugged into. I'm liking this Halo, man. I'm liking this Halo. I can live in here. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. But yeah, I hear you, Reaper. Like see, you're saying it so simple. People ain't believing you. People are not. It's he's saying it too simple. Is he? It's. But I'm here to tell y'all that this show was just so that I had my man Reaper on record. Because when it's all said and done, what Reaper is saying is going to happen. I know it is. And that's just the way it's going to be. So you guys heard it here, and you heard it from T Reaper. That's why I'm asking him these questions, because I already know, really. But there's some things, like I just said just a few minutes ago, that I would really want to happen, and I want some concrete evidence on it, because I know it's possible with this technology. But then again, I don't have everything, but it'd be nice to have that. Um, Another thing, man, that I think would be outstanding is is this crossplay, but in a sense
Hmm.
where my crossplay, I know what people are thinking, but I'm not going there. I'm thinking this X Cloud and console crossplay. Like I'm outside somewhere, you hit me up, just like right now. You hit me up. Let's do this. Let's do this Halo online. And I get on my Halo and I go online and I can actually play with you. And I'm outside in my yard. I'm outside, and and I'm on a mobile device. I'm on my phone or something. You know,
Hmm.
I'm telling you, the way Microsoft is going about things as far as their own brand and their own entity, I think they're going in the right direction, man. And something beautiful is about to happen. Look what just happened today. Look what just happened today, Reaper. Look at the news that just happened today. Look at the stats that just happened today. 90 plus million live active accounts across
Hmm.
all
Yeah.
of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What happened? It went from 64 the last time we knew, and then it went to 58. Now it's 90. Come on,
Yeah.
come on, Reaper. Something beautiful is happening, man.
No, it is,
And then when you
and it's
think,
working,
that's
and
right,
it's working,
it's working.
it's working,
And when you
and it's
think,
working beautifully.
right, and when you think, um, the 10 million, the 10 million now confirmed, because it was like 9.5 million like last year or something. You remember it was like 9.59 million
Yeah.
something when they first talked about it. But now it's official that it's over 10 million. So Reaper, Microsoft doesn't really look at that as a, they don't
Uh,
separate, and we know this. They don't separate
oh,
Game Pass and Live because they got Ultimate. They put it together. One can't run without the other one, right? In a sense. So when you think about it, it's over 100 million. It's over 100
yeah,
million.
yeah. It's
I mean, we're gonna say
um
90 because of quarantine. You could, and you know what? That's very well could be the case. Phil Spencer even talked about it. He was like, man, they see an astronomical, and you know, it was funny because he said that, but we didn't know it was gonna be this astronomical. It's ridiculous.
well,
That's almost a 30 million plus.
some of us really do know how powerful this thing is and how it
Right,
is built. So it is built, and those who do not, and those who do not might not be your fault, or it might be, as I said, you did not, go past middle school during our generation, so you don't know this information, which is fine. But that does not necessarily make it the fault of the person who's saying it so simply that he's not
right,
lying, and
right,
he's not basically trying to scam you. But,
right.
the person that is uneducated not to know what he's technically telling you, that's not his fault.
Right. It's don't just because you may not know what's going on and somebody else does. Well, that's just part of it, man. It's always going to be like that. When somebody else doesn't know and you know, they're going to think that you're the one that's lying or telling
Yeah.
the joke. Yeah, exactly. It's always like that. But then, like I said, when it happens, you heard it here. You heard it here. Because we're talking about the cloud. We're talking about something that has something to do with actual gaming. I can sit up here and actually, we could talk about rumors and stuff. I could talk about The Last of Us 2 leaks, but I don't want to. It's boring. Everybody's talking about that. It's garbage. I'm not going to play the game no way. So why would I talk about it? I don't care about it. What I care about is this Xbox Series X coming out, this Azure Cloud that's going to be phenomenal, and all the other things that are coming into it. And that's why I got my man T Reaper here because, truth be told, man, T Reaper doesn't get enough credit. And he's underground like me. He's underground. But put all his jokes aside, you get to know the guy, and he's very educated, and he knows what he's talking about. See, I think that's the misconception out here in these streets, is that you see people on social media, and hey, man, listen, it's social media first of all, so you should already take it in consideration that hey, I don't really know this person, but that's not the case, right? You want to know this person, like that's the problem. You think that everything that a person says on social media and things, and you think that's who they are. Like and I'm not saying that people put stuff up on social media is fake. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you got people
No,
up here with
no,
names that
no,
are not their normal names. That's what I'm
no, no,
saying.
no.
Like,
Well, that's also part of the kind of the misconception with Microsoft now. You have people that do not know the originality of where this all comes from. So then you just think that, oh, that's not the way it should be, or that doesn't make any sense, or why is
right,
this the case? But then in all reality, it's exactly the way it's supposed to be because everybody is practically ghosts.
right,
You don't know who's who, and that is the whole point of an online, community, because everybody can have privacy while dealing with private issues at home or within health or whatever, or just be having fun.
right.
And the other point that, we've all been trying to make is this whole thing is not about, exclusivity, fanboy console war, it
Right.
can be to a point, but it's to the point where people don't understand why we really game anymore or why it was originally even created in arcades to begin
Right.
with.
Right.
And then the whole concept of how what Dr. Phil really can do and what he's really
Dr. Phil,
responsible
I
for
like
is
that. I feel
hilarious.
I say Phil a killer, but you said Dr. Phil. Now that is hilarious. That's the first one I've heard. I like that one. Dr. Phil. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one. I actually like that one. Dr. Phil. Phil a killer, man.
Yeah,
You got
but
another one. You got another one. Dr.
I
Phil.
mean, no one
Uncle
understands
Phil,
what this guy
Dr.
is
Phil,
from,
Phil
but
a
I
killer.
do.
That's good
I
stuff.
do. And that
Oh
man has
man.
gotten so what he's about to do. And
Right.
it's mad funny to those who are educated enough to remember what he is responsible for. So it's
Right.
very, very funny, and it goes back a long way, a long time before some of these, fanboys were born. So
Well,
I don't blame the entire culture for not knowing this.
well, let's talk about that. So, what are some of the things? And listen, man. I'm not trying to get too deep, but I'm just saying. What are some of the things that you are talking about when you said that? There are origin steps, and I want to elaborate on that because there's people that really don't
Well,
understand. Just like with
we're al-
DirectX, they don't
we're
understand that.
also
Right.
Yeah, well, no, they're not. What again? I can't help it if you're not educated to know how a console of any kind is just a miniaturized enclosed computer. Okay, I can't help if you don't know that.
Right.
I also can't help if you do not understand how the internet works and how, in some cases, and I during my during my wonderful time on YouTube, I've had fun learning this type of stuff because I didn't know this type of stuff existed when I was growing up.
Right.
So it's been a kind of a very good educational part for me. But at the same time, I feel very bad because I'm like, this world can't be this uneducated. This is impossible.
Well, the
Like,
thing is,
what would
Reaper,
happen?
there's a lot of people because people don't want to search for stuff. Now, listen, you know
No,
as well as I know, I'm
again,
not a computer wizard.
half the generation is lazy. I understand that.
Right.
I get the concept behind what the problem is. I'm just saying, like, if the problem wasn't there, you wouldn't have a problem to begin with. Like,
Facts. Now that's facts.
if someone tries to tell me that the concept isn't like an idea and it isn't design, I'm going to sit there and with my jaw dropped and be like, did you never actually know what a dictionary is? Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna start to have massive fun because now it's like really, it, it's gonna turn out to what you do and do not know about the industry in general, which is why it's gonna be massively funny.
Right. Um.
But but
You
I'm
know.
not taking any hate in that because in the end I'm just always right. It just kind of sucks.
Well, the thing is,
But
man, like I said, I never claimed to be a computer wizard, but because of that, I read. I wanna know stuff. I wanna peep game on things, and that's kind
no,
of like
no,
where I
like
come from.
that,
I don't.
I mean, and again, shout out to Mr. Hebot because I listened to his video last night and it made a lot of sense to me, and I really do understand that. But the problem is like people don't understand why to pick up a controller if not for exclusives, and I'm like, that's so stupid. Or
Right.
you'll have people that pick up a controller, in situations like the world has today, which also leads why I duplicated. And if anybody is wondering why Xbox Live might be having a little bit of twerks right now, it's because their servers are being doubled by overloads.
Yeah,
Just
I
be
can.
careful. So
Right.
social media is kind of weird. Social interaction was kind of stupid today on Xbox Live, but it's understandable. Their things are duplicating, so it's fine.
Right.
But you're about to experience like a humongous upgrade.
Yeah, we are because it had to expand, and that's the thing about it, man. The servers can always open up. The beautiful thing about Microsoft servers, they can always open it up. It's all self-integrated. It's already ready, and anytime we get a big surge, they just make a good adjustment, open it up, and voila, here we are. We're steady again. But the future is bright, man. Everything is starting to happen. It's quiet out here. The haters. It's quiet, and it's only going to get worse. If you don't like Xbox, listen, you have every right to not like it. But it's going to get hard to make Xbox look bad here soon. It's going to look real hard on you. And you're going to look stupid trying to make it look Like it's not a good place to be for gamers. Pretty soon, anybody that starts talking smack about Xbox is just gonna look pathetic. That's how much credit and much ability in this Xbox team is gonna deliver. Like it's not even gonna be funny anymore. Like it's really not gonna be funny. And listen, it's not even about trying to make Microsoft is not even trying to make one platform look worse than the other, right? And I'm talking about when we're considering PC. It's just what it is. When you are the one that has the big bank, you are the one that can co-engineer. You are the one that's actually the market.
Well,
You're
you're
helping
the one
people
that
with
knows that,
the
you're
cloud.
you're
Your
the one that
cloud
knows
is
how to
being
everything works. Yeah, you
right.
know how
You're
everything
the one.
works.
Yeah, you're the one that really everybody wants to use your services. So with that, it makes you valuable. It makes you the valuable one. So Microsoft now, basically, these companies, the ones that they help out, we just found out. Just like we found out about Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola wants to use their AI services. Why? Because it's easier. It's easier to do their business with it. It's easier to keep inventory count. It's easy to this stuff. This cloud is no joke. It has endless power. It's something that can be
Yeah.
utilized anytime there's a discrepancy. It's like a cheat code. It's like, hey, you know what? We don't want to put too much time into this. Let's just go use the cloud. And that's how it is. This is use the cloud. It's it's all Microsoft. It's crazy. As I know how weird
Yeah.
it sounds. People really ain't tripping off no hardware specs. They don't have to, and that's what people don't
Well,
understand.
and it
They don't
yeah,
have
there's
to.
software. It's software company, guys. It's not a hardware
Virtual,
company, and
right,
you need software in order to make hardware run. So you
right,
need the combination. However, what hardware does, Microsoft can technically do by your wonderful natural power of the cloud. So
right,
if you take away that, one, if you take away hardware, you also deduct, production costs by a, let's just say a ton.
right,
And you actually basically then double to triple your revenue automatically because you're using something the other person does not
right. That's right. That's
and
right.
cannot because you are wallet capped, and it's very sad.
Right. And plus, hardware is only going to go so far. It's only going to go so
Yes.
far based off of what it was made for, or made to do. It can't go no further than that spec. So the beautiful thing is, people, what I think T Reaper is trying to elaborate on and make people understand is that we're going into a beautiful phase of gaming that we've truly never been before. Like, I know it sounds like it's a PR thing because when it comes from people like Phil Spencer and people like that from it sounds like they just saying that just to get people to buy into their product. Get that. I understand if you feel that way. But I'm trying to tell you that I've been talking with T Reaper for years. Okay? Years. And and at some point you just get to the point where you're like, you know what? I'm tired of holding this in. You know, you look around and you try to see if anybody else is talking about it. You see that people ain't talking about it. People don't really put the pieces together. And then when you see these little articles about that come out, it's not really them. It's actually the people who actually made the damn console that are speaking about it.
Yeah.
And when you see that, that's how you know that Microsoft was so closed in on all their information that none of these articles really know anything. They don't know anything. There's no YouTubers out here that know anything. I mean, for
Yeah.
goodness sake, we just saw Austin. How many subscribers? He's over 1 million some subscribers. They invited him to come check it out. He didn't know. He doesn't know. There's no inside scoops on this stuff.
Yeah.
Microsoft is going to shock everybody.
No, they will. No,
That's it.
no, no. Yeah, Dr. Phil will, and it's massively
Like,
funny.
it's going to be massively funny. That's right.
uh,
It's
because the as I said, people can only be so passively businesslike that they can't really break an NDA, and Dr. Phil, as wonderful as that man is, has so many NDAs that he cannot business, kind of like Donnie D, but Donnie D kind of let it slip. That wasn't his intention. So
right.
The annoying thing was is that, Donnie D still was being honest and, as we said in 2013, Dr. Phil said, I'll give you one more generation, but then you're not going to have a choice. And this is going to be
Right.
the
Now
concept where
explain what
you're
you're
not
talking about because I know exactly where you're coming from. Explain what you're. No, seriously. They don't explain what you're talking about, T Reaper, right there. And I'll put it like this. I'll speed it up just a little bit for them. 2013. Everything that did not go down in 2013, we all know is going down now. And see how
yeah.
happy and okay you are? They knew you was going to be happy and okay then. The problem was this. People
It was
was
change.
not
People
right.
can't
People was not
people can't be
accepting.
forced to change right away. It's
Well,
they need time to suit it in, but the problem was is we were running into a pandemic time period to where everybody was, gonna lose time, everybody was gonna lose
think
production
about this
value.
one. Well, think about this one, Reaper. Even nobody wanted to admit that Sony went back on their own plans. Let's get back to that. Sony was gonna do the same thing. Everything that did not go well when they saw backlash, even when it came to the Connect, Sony was gonna bring out their console with their camera. They were gonna do it. They made it an option once they realized what had happened. So now they made it an option. The same thing with the
Well,
cloud
but
compute. The
yeah.
Microsoft
Well,
made some
you
steps that I think could have been different. They could have came out with two SKUs, right? They could have came out with an Xbox, and then they could have came out with the one that had the Connect, and then they should have featured the Connect and brought it out as, hey, this is what you would want to have, because it would be able to do this and this and this. Treat it like a feature, more like a feature. But they didn't. They brought out one, and I'm not, like I'm saying, I'm not beating them up for it. I'm just saying I think it could have been done better, right? But now
yeah.
that everything is out, right? Now that everything is out and everything is clear, you're seeing who's who. You are seeing that Microsoft literally did make a marketing mistake. They were coming into a new generation. They were fired up and they wanted to use the cloud. Okay? They wanted to hurry up get it on out here because they knew, just like T was saying, you were gonna eventually come to it eventually. They're the ones they're the big bank. The industry is not gonna be moved by the little bankers. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way. So go ahead, T Ripple, go ahead.
But like, because the pandemic was being predicted over and over again for the last 20 years, no one really was going to listen to it no more, so no one heeded anybody's warning. And
Right.
then the entire industry, the entire world caught off guard by the pandemic, that no one really could help but, just try to, get through the best they can, adults included. And the annoying thing is no one was gonna believe it, and we knew we were gonna get stuck. But what better way to introduce digital age than in a
Right.
place where you can't physically go anywhere? You can't physically pick anything up without having like to try hard to breathe for 20 minutes after getting back inside or going outside.
Right.
So like it was a smart business move. It's going to do wonders for the world on a large scale, the likes of which hasn't been seen. And I want everybody to kindly remind themselves of this, especially the fanboys that really drive hard up Microsoft about sales and stuff like that.
Right.
That's not their business model. Somebody please drive that into your head. It's not their
They
business model. That's
they
not how
it,
they make money.
right. You might as well
That's not how they
forget
make
that.
money.
Forget that.
Stop,
They
stop
can't get
making, please stop making that like
right.
argument because it is invalid as hell. It's
Right.
not their business model. They are not a gaming only company. You gotta
Right.
like stop saying that because
Right.
that's really starting to annoy, and it's
It's
also
silly.
inaccurate and
Yeah.
uneducated as hell. And
Right.
all you have to do is look up the stock market and look whose number is higher,
Yeah.
please.
Oh
If
man,
you
they're running the market right now. Matter of
yeah,
fact,
and as long as you
Microsoft
can
can buy the market. They
and
can
as long
literally
as people
buy
can
it.
do
That's
multiplication
right.
and add addition, please use addition from school and learn which is higher, a T or B. Thank you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. They can literally buy the market, man, and influence it just off their own pockets, man. People are gonna go
No,
where the money is at. That's just it. These
yeah,
companies ain't,
you know, and the fun thing about this culture is we used to have fun in this. I remember a time before save points. I remember a time when this thing was a floppy disk. I remember a whole bunch of times when this was a CD, and it
that's
actually
right.
taught kids how to do math. I remember the first ever FPS ever created. I remember the first online lobbies were
That's right.
laggy as hell because the servers weren't built.
That's right.
And through the decades we've gotten better and better at connection at low latency. And when you have Dr. Phil on, different interviews saying, he's working on that low latency problem, not a lot of people understand what that is. And then you'll have certain people get attacked or roasted because they don't understand technology alongside a software program. So you don't understand low latency compared to, say, refresh rate. And low
Right.
latency and refresh rate go together. So the lower the latency on your screen, the faster it will basically blink its pixels, and you'll see faster, and it will be brighter, and it will be a better 8K, 4K quality.
Right.
But the thing is that costs, eventually those hardware pieces and that software, CPU chips for the TVs, they build up in heat, and then heat will eventually, corrupt the planet, and will corrupt, carbon dioxide and all that kind of BS, unless you can basically take that away and basically only do it virtually to where there's little to no
Yeah,
pollution
there's no
whatsoever.
that's right. You got no friction there. There's
Yep.
no need for that's exactly right. Look at the cloud like clean energy. Listen, I'm a wind technician. It's like clean energy like in the wind. You're letting what's
Yeah.
God
No,
given
you can let
drive
you
the
you can you can let the earth run itself if you know how to
right.
make it do so.
If you get exactly utilize what's already happening. And that's where Microsoft is at. They're
Yeah.
utilizing what's already can be that doesn't have to need it doesn't need any help. It's there. And like I said,
Yeah.
you can use it for memory, anything. You can use it. It's hard, man. It's hard to get people to believe it because especially when you got people with PCs that are powerful, and they're stuck on that traditional, oh, well, I need this and you're going to need that. That ain't going to work because that it doesn't work like that. And you don't bro, come on, man. Like stop it. Like just because it's coming down to where people think just because it can't be done on their preferred platform that it just can't be done. It just can't be done,
No.
and that's
Well,
not the way to look at things.
and when I first entered the YouTube scene, and I didn't know any of this, I was, clueless as hell on whether people really did or did not believe what they were talking about. So it took a while to really psychologically analyze everybody to really figure out who did and did not know what. But the thing is that a lot of people that I knew in real life, felt the same way that you just described, oh, it's not in my home, so it doesn't exist. I'm like, that's not the
Right,
case. You're being sheltered, you're being enclosed, and you're not being told the truth, which is
right.
fine because of your status in life. But again, that's why we have low, middle, and high options.
Facts.
Something for everybody, something to play
Yeah,
anywhere
that
in
and
the
that was a
world, and
beautiful
if it's
thing.
at
That was a beautiful thing when they went that way. That's right.
yeah.
That
Because
was a
eventually,
beautiful
what's
thing.
going to happen is it will be, anybody wonders why, the Xbox One's named has a one in it.
Right,
You're
right.
you're gonna soon find out. So that's going to be kind of funny. Hey, look, I got
Right.
MVP.
Yep. It's like a future saying for what's going to happen. The one was there to bring about what's about to happen, and it's going to fulfill itself. Like you had the OG Xbox, you had the 360 where they had to make a turnaround. They all made a turnaround, made a different strategy. All these little names got purposes. The Xbox One was all in one console. Now you're going into the X series. It has a purpose. They said it. X
Mm.
series was going to be top tier. So when we say top tier, we're talking it's going to be some top tier. And this bad boy is going to be ahead of its game. It's going to be something where I'm just going to put it like this. We are going to really be surprised at this beast. It's more to this thing than meets the eye. Way more than meets the eye. And I'm on some
Well,
Autobots,
okay. Well,
Transformer
I
stuff like that.
want to let the folks in on kind of something. So I've been saying on Twitter, play anywhere options, power of the cloud. There's going to be three different types, as we all know. There's going to be three different models this time. And if anybody remembers the 360 age, and this man is the one responsible for doing it that way, remember? Arcade, uh,
Elite.
Pro Elite, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, okay. So low, middle, high.
Hmm.
And the way this is going to work is the Xbox Series X is going to be the middle ground, but there is something that is going to be higher. And that, my dear friends, is going to be the
It's
elite
gonna.
section.
That's gonna be some killer stuff right there. It,
But as I said, my prediction is that eventually the only thing you're gonna have to run on is electricity,
Right.
if you're lucky. But there is going to be a slab for every different type of gamer. There is going to be options. If you cannot do this, then you can, experience the same thing forwards, backwards. There's a concept to that. Uh, you can experience the same way. Maybe not as good as, the prime experience, but, as better than it is now.
That's true.
But again, everybody kind of forgets to remind themselves that we play games for enjoyment, not for, karmic, industry pride, which is kind of the annoying thing. Everybody's just forgotten to have fun, or what fun
Right.
actually is either defined
And
as.
and because you've forgotten how to have fun, you're gonna be reminded how to have fun. That's why this stuff has all this exclusive talks and all that. Pretty soon it's gonna be some silly in talks because you're gonna understand that hey, I'm just having fun soon. I mean, I'm telling y'all that this stuff is gonna happen. Like it's not gonna happen for every single game, but it's gonna happen enough that where when you start talking like that, you're gonna be stupid. You're gonna be a very small minority of gamers that's still holding on to something that doesn't even matter anymore. And I'm not talking like all these games. Like I'm not saying that exclusives don't matter. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the fact that this generation lost its touch with just having fun with games. This is the reason why Microsoft has put itself in a position to make sure that you'll understand what it is, the true essence of what gaming really is, and that's about having fun. You can't have fun always thinking that, well, people don't deserve to play a game just because it's on a platform. That's why you hear Phil Spencer say that. Because there's actually people that think, oh, well, if it's not on my platform, they don't need to play the game. And that's a wrong idea of thinking about. If you, the way you should think about it is like this. Well, they want to play the game. Well, then if they want to play, they just need to buy the console. You can say something like that,
Yeah,
but don't
but
say
like,
that they don't because they're not playing it that they should never that because they don't buy that console they should never experience that game. That's the wrong way to talk about it. Because
no,
people,
yeah, no,
right.
and again, and in Dr. Phil's, wonderful vision, there will be, one place for all, one fits all concept. So everything will be revealed in time, and I think
Mhm.
people will be shocked how obvious it's been
Mhm.
that it's been right the answer and how long the answer has been in front of your face.
Mhm.
But because someone didn't read a dictionary when they were in school, they don't understand what the meanings are and never did.
Right.
So,
You know.
but yeah, but again, again, it's not fully the society's fault. So again, that is the other thing everybody has to consider as I'm talking. So, it's fault on both sides. It could be uneducated. It could be you've only played, the console side of gaming. Maybe the entire industry is not your forte to play. As legal has just said. But at the same time, just because you like one thing does not mean the other one does not exist, or
Right.
this exists but this one does not.
Right. And
And I'm sorry, but if I can legitimately pick up joysticks and it moves, it exists. I'm sorry. Like
right. And like I said, like I keep saying, I said, I come from a generation where we respected the fact that hey, Mario was on Nintendo and Sonic was on Sega. We didn't want Mario on Sega, and we didn't want Sonic on Nintendo. We respected the brands. We respected the crafts. And listen, Microsoft is putting it to where their games can be used on many devices, even not outside the console. It's not to take away from the console, it's to give you more freedom, more flexibility on where you play. Like say for instance you're at home and you're in your room and you're doing some office work and hey, you're on your PC, you have the Xbox app on there and now you're able to get some certain play anywhere Xbox games and so if you're right there and you got your controller, you Bluetooth it in. Hey, you go to the app, open it up. If you got Game Pass PC or whatever, pick your game, and all it is. People are thinking it's something more than that. It's not. Hey, I get my mobile phone right, Xbox app on there. I open up the XCloud app. Guess what? I pick my game. Guess what? I play my Xbox game. The thing is, hey, if I have a Steam account, see what I'm saying? Certain
Yeah.
Xbox games will go to Steam. So hey, if I want to pay that price to buy that Xbox game on my Steam account, because I'm a PC gamer, but every now and then I like to play some Xbox games. So hey, you on Steam? We got a few games on Xbox that make it over to Steam. Look at Gears Tactics right now, number one PC game, number
Yeah.
one game, number one PC game on Steam. Look at that. Now you're gonna tell me that PC gamers don't like Xbox games? Come on,
Well,
exposure 101.
yeah, but
You know
the
they
the
want to
fun
play
the
them
other fun
games.
yeah, but the other fun part is that the next generation of phase is going to be third person, genre concepts.
Mhm.
And that's really the unfortunate truth of the matter, and I really wish it wasn't the case, but evolution needs to happen to drive
Right,
industry. So
right,
this is going to be fun, but again, there is going to be an option for all concept of industry. So, it's not all going to disappear, but you'll see it less and less, and only the
right,
valuable ones will stay. But we've already said that over and
right.
over again.
The,
So
exactly.
so
Only the
it's
valuables.
like
Right. That's where it's going to come down to. It's going to be your powerhouses that will stay. That will be the ones, or new powerhouse IPs that get created. That will be like the faces of the brands, right? But most, like he said, but majority of it will be third party experiences, because now it's about opening up the market for these devs. It's about it's about supporting these guys. Point, man, where they were needing bad. They were in a bad situation. They were needing help, and people like Microsoft, they even said it, man. If we could just buy all of them, we would. But well, unfortunately, we can't buy every day. But they didn't realize how bad it had truly gotten for them. So something like Game Pass, man, is a beautiful thing. Microsoft looking out after the industry, man. The idea at Xbox is a beautiful thing. Gives newcomer devs a place to go and showcase their abilities, man. And
yeah.
if their games are good, then they're able to come out on the market. And if they, hey, and Microsoft, like he said, Phil sits there, he looks at these games. Matt Booty looks at these games, and if they're the ones that make the Game Pass cut, well, we know how Game Pass works too. So we're not even going to speak on that. There's
Yeah,
people that don't
well,
even know how Game Pass works. It's a damn
no,
shame.
yeah, and that would be the part two of the complicated issue Dr. Phil
Hmm.
has to face because it's like I'm sorry, but if you haven't watched Aladdin and understand 1 plus 1 equals 2, but if you go to buy one buy two and there's only enough for one, how many did you really buy? If you don't know how to solve that problem, you're really not you don't want to even know how that works.
It's just crazy, man. It's crazy how far off. We're at a point where we rather hear rumors and stuff that is regurgitated through articles. That's where we're at. It's like, because to do that is to mitigate and to make less of Xbox. Without hearing Xbox stuff, we're better off, because we don't want to know the greatness of what's going on. We don't If we don't know it, then hey, man, it's not gonna happen. And that's kind of a sad way to be, man. I appreciate people like T Reaper, who reaches out to me, literally reaches out to me. We we literally do this sometimes. We'll be on our or we'll just be chatting on our phones, and we have these long discussions. I'll be at work. If I ain't got nothing to do, I'll hit him up. He'll hit me up. We'll just talk. And these are the things that I'm glad that he takes time out to just elaborate on, because we don't want to say too much. We don't want to, you know, we're not into speculations, but we are into certainties. And that's what I respect about you, man. You're about the certainty of things, and you've been trying to let everybody know this stuff. And I've seen
Uh,
you be made fun of. And we're in the
Yeah,
underground,
but
you know.
like again at some point and I'm now paying attention to different districts and different regions of the current situation of the industry. But the fun part of this is like I'm not forgotten, and I like that. That's
Right.
that's very humble. And those who you are, remember what I did. And yeah, next time someone
We
says they're
know.
gonna do something,
Yeah,
don't
we know.
don't don't believe they won't do it. So like it's it's kind of fun, or don't believe they've never been able to do it. Because I've seen a lot
Right.
of I've seen a lot of Facebook posts now that say that oh this industry sucks. This is $550, one elite, it broke. What the hell? What the hell? No
Right.
warranty.
Just
But then the fun part would be like I can just show you my collage of 7 Xbox Ones of this whole generation being bought, all of them 550. Please times
right.
that by 7, and then please take your complaint elsewhere. So
Right.
you, you know, it's just too funny to really not laugh no more. And like, it's kind of fun with those Twitters because they really think they know everything. Either that or
Yeah.
they're
Or
just
they try
very,
to.
very good comical actors.
That's what I was
You
saying. Or they
know,
put on good scripts. They do, man. They put on good scripts. It's
But like,
just
but
funny,
they're,
man.
but like you have, then you have the other, drama issue that, for the sake of the man's privacy, I won't mention his name, but you know, I think he really does deserve what, he got. But again, just by reading that article that he himself posted, you can really see how he just named himself casual.
Right.
And the funny
Right.
thing is no
Right.
one really is understanding how to read that the way he
Right.
wrote it, which is a very clever, very Gen X type of thing to do. But I can still tell what
Right.
it says, so it doesn't
Exactly.
really matter. So just as long as you confess it, that's all I care about. And he did.
Exactly.
And you confessed it on a public global level. I'm very
Right.
proud. You
Yeah.
know,
Be
all
honest. Be honest. So
yeah,
therefore,
as long as you're
right.
honest, I will not, I don't have a
That's it.
problem. But it's the dishonesty and you think everything you know about the industry that you love. And I get this from Star Wars fans, I get this from from DC and Marvel fans. Everybody believes they're right because they love their passion so deeply. But the fun thing is you know how to love, but you don't know how to have fun. That doesn't make any logical sense
Right.
in the mind of a human being. But you know, I guess
Right.
most of us aren't really human no more. We're all mechanical, robots, as people like to call us. So, but I think the future is going to be interesting for all because there will be you can practically play anywhere with options for all, low, middle, high. But like, I'm
Right.
not really going to make that any clearer than it really is because it explains itself and all you have to do is look it up.
That's true.
But, that's not my job to, educate somebody that should be educated, especially if you have a phone. Please tell me that
Right.
for those who watch it.
You got access to information 24/7. Yep, 24/7, man.
But like, yeah, but like again, like I'm very very happy that I'm educated to this level to know how this works. It's kind of a nice little gift because you can kind of see as you look back in the generation what was really being used as a test, and then which one was real, and then which one worked, and then which one they had to. And we saw a whole bunch of dashboards remakes, didn't we, people?
Remember that?
Started with the
Yeah.
Windows,
It's almost
yeah,
as if this
started with the
period
Win.
was like a beta test. It was almost like it was a
Yeah,
beta test.
it was a beta test, really. And, there was a Windows 8 original Xbox One, everybody. There was a
Yep.
time before Windows 10.
That's right. That's right. That's exactly right.
uh,
There was a
it's
Windows 8
like,
Xbox One. That's facts.
but, y- but but then the kicker is that the software had to be booted
That's
upward, so
right.
you had to
You
reprogram
had
it
to
for Windows
upgrade it.
10. Otherwise, it
Right.
wasn't going to work. And
And
because we
that's the
had
real
Windows,
reason why we lost a lot of key features because they couldn't exactly, man. Keep talking. That's true. That's
but
real.
and then your
Some of my
current
favorite
problem
features too, man. Piss me off. Piss me off.
But like the nice thing about concept is like now we're running out of names to use. So now everybody's numbered. So now you can really tell which one is the OG tags, everybody. They're the ones
That's
that
right.
don't
That's
have numbers
facts.
on them.
That's facts. Yep.
And Dr. Phil took it right out of those RPG PC games.
That's
Somebody's username
exactly
is already
right.
taken, you just put a number on it.
That's it.
Same concept.
That's all that happened. That's exactly right.
But, you know, and I really think, people and I'm guilty of it too. I'll confess to my sin right now that, fanboy or not, corporate slave or troll or not,
Right.
PC elitist or not, I'm going to say that, some of the extremes I did to do my education, were not necessary, and I apologize those. But still, do not believe somebody does not play more than you. That was the easiest on earth to do. I cannot believe I did that many games before everybody else. And you have people that really claim to be a know-all,
I
game-all,
know, I
concept.
know,
Uh,
I know.
And the and then the fun part would be is that I can legitly do that over and over again until I get really, really mentally fatigued. But then then you have the the Twitter battles concept. Yo, girl. Yeah. Hey, sweetie, I'm legitly in the stream. Sorry, I'll continue, guys, in 1 second.
You're good, man. Take your time. Take your time, man. Trust me, I know
But
how it is.
but no, but yeah, so you took the RPG concept and now everybody really understands what an OG concept is because it's the one that doesn't have a number on your name.
That's right.
But and then I've been really enjoying this cross integration to the internet to where the you have really a lot of the OG casuals now complaining about sweats in lobbies over and over and over
Yeah, it's
again.
so funny, man. It's so funny.
A-
It's almost like
And
where you
then
been? Like where you been? Like
but no, but see that's kind of that's gonna be the golden kind of funny thing to me because those who complain like that, you truly tell me what you really grew up playing on or the mentality, whatever you choose to reference it as.
right.
But the thing is that that hasn't, as we kind of just went over and over again, it's not the end all be all concept.
Mhm.
So just because it wasn't in their kind of concept doesn't mean it never existed or it did not exist.
Right. Right. So what do you think is one of the biggest aspects of this cloud that you think Microsoft is going to utilize first? What do you think they're going to come out to make a statement about it? How do you think they're going to come out and use it? I have
Uh,
my opinion, but
I personally think they're going to use the power of the cloud to
mhm.
basically make this experience totally never, never ever seen before surreal to the average person, at least to those who can afford it. And then you will have, an option on a different level for everybody, and those who can handle what. You also have the X Cloud, true concept coming into play.
Mhm. Do you think
Uh,
okay, what feature do you think they're going to use out of it first? Do you think they're going to okay, or what how do you think they're going to utilize it? Do you think it's going to be first for memory, first for power, first for, key features? What do you think they're going to use it for? First.
uh, Um, Multiplayer expansion.
Okay. That's what okay. I can see that. Hey man,
And
what
then
right.
the main thing it's gonna be used for is basically finally doing what you don't need something else to do.
Right. Right. To take the load
And
off. You're talking about the loads, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Take the
That
loads off.
that's the
That's
main
right.
purpose of the of the service. And that's kind of why it's called the service, everybody, because it's been a
Right.
service since the early 90s.
Right. Because that with that, that's how they're going to be able to maintain all everything that's going on and run a console more proficiency with more proficiency. Sorry, more proficient, but to run it with more proficiency. Because if when they do it that way, then nothing lies, right? Nothing lies on paper. So when they say they had 12 teraflops, or they say this and this and this, that's what it's going to be doing. It's not going to be, oh well, we had to. It's truly not this because we had to use some of this for some of this. It's not going to be like that no more. Whatever you saw is what it's going to be, and whatever is lacking, like T Reaper is saying, whatever is lacking, the cloud is going to utilize it for. The cloud is just like it's the savior. It's the savior. That's all it
Yeah.
is. It's just the savior, and it's gonna keep that console. It's gonna keep that powerful console cool, calm, and collected. And man, you talking about 120 frames per second on a console. That's gonna be ridiculous on a console. See, some of you PC has all that. That's nothing, but on a console, it's revolutionary. You know, for
Well,
something like that to
well,
happen on consoles, revolutionary.
well, personally, I'm gonna amend your original prediction to basically 120 frames at a touch of a button.
Nice. You think? Do you think? You know what? I did kind of think about that a while ago, and I was thinking like, what if, man, it, the 120 frames could be optional due to your TV. You know what? Or due to anything that you hook it up to, it can configure. Well, hey, this TV can do this, this, and this. So now you're able to unlock this or to unlock that. What if that's what if that's just a true capability, man? Like for every game that comes out on it, it can top it. But now I understand that some graphical visuals will have to be rendered down. I get that. But what if that could be what if that could be a standard for any game that you want to play on the Series X? That's another thing that would be remarkable. Like there's just too many things that run through my mind that I could just say, man, if this stuff happens like this, it's just over, man. It's just over to me because I think that you're taking care of everything, right? You're taking care of past games. You're taking care
Yeah.
of the last gen current games because some people, it's going to take them time. Everybody doesn't have the wallet. So they understand in their audience. They understanding that you got the ones that are not the day ones. Not the day ones. So you're taking care of them, and then you're saying, hey, here's the day one guys. They're going to get the best of the best. Here they are. They're willing to pull out their money and slap it. We're going to give them the best of the best. And when you have that audience moving together, you can't lose. And I'm telling you right now, T Reaper, I hate to say it. I mean, when I say I hate to say it, it's just more like in a competitive situation because you're a Halo guy and I'm a Gears guy. And my Gears can never top your Halo. It can never top it. But man, I gotta say, brother, you as a Halo fan are about to get your justice due. That damn
No,
Halo
I
Infinite,
am.
that Halo Infinite is man. I could Halo. You're gonna relive a bigger Halo 2 moment. Remember when Halo 2 came out and the whole world stopped for a minute?
Yeah.
The whole
No.
world stopped, dude. You're about to that game. I can see that game being the first $10 million game, man, right out the gate. Because not when I mean right out the gate, I'm not talking about like immediately, but I'm saying it's gonna be quick about it because that game is gonna sell for the console, man. It's gonna be so you're looking at every Halo fan buying the Xbox Series X to play Halo. And I think they really highly underestimate your community, T Reaper, and they're gonna see
No,
just how big it is soon. Just how big it
actually,
is.
well, that's kind of the fun part about it because like a lot of people actually forgot where we're from, and
I'm telling you,
like,
bro.
this is starting to get really funny, really, really quickly because now certain people are starting to wake up, and we kind of, anybody who's known my YouTube, troll history, understand I had a example of this
Oh,
a
I got
long
ran
time
into two
ago.
of them.
Uh,
Right.
we ran into these kids and they didn't know Xbox Live existed or what it even was at first because they, for years had been playing a 360 without a cord or without any wired connection. So the fun thing is like, yeah, you do know you can
Mm,
play with other people across this planet, right? But they're like,
right.
no, that's not true. And I'm like, really? Then why do I have like, Australian kangaroo buddies to wonderful
Right.
Denmark buddies? It's like it's kind of, why was I playing with, the wonderful Asians across the pond at the age of 6? Like, please tell me
Right.
these because like otherwise I might just be totally dumb.
Right.
But it's just kind of, I think the ones that are the true Halos will it will definitely boost the elite version of what is going to happen because it will be surreal, real surreal.
Yeah, it's gonna be,
But
man.
it but I think it's going to be interesting. It's also going to be an eye opener for the industry. What was possible to what is now possible with such less effort. It's not even funny on a both technical
Right.
and industry level. But I don't doubt I don't blame people for not knowing what they do not know.
At this point, man, it's almost sad. We're looking at damn near almost 6.5 years, and if you still are confused about how Microsoft operates, something's wrong, man. It's just something wrong with that, T Reaper. To
Yeah,
me.
no, and then the other fun part, we kind of glimpsed this on Twitter yesterday, which was absolutely funny as all hell. But the wonderful, deity basically said, those I can basically play 100 lobbies and still have fun, or enjoy myself. And I'm like, yeah, but no one understands what enjoyment, the definition of enjoyment is in this culture no more, and hasn't
Right.
for a very long
It's
time.
it's too it's
And
too
and the and the
right.
and the deity did, compliment me and say I was damn right. And the problem is that it's a very sad but very true fact about this culture now. Like no one understands what multiplayer fun is. No one even
Right.
understands that you're technically supposed to be working at your skill in multiplayer. Like if you just want to
That's
simply have
right.
fun, go play a narrative, please. I beg you. Don't go into a lobby because if you think a lobby is the same thing as an AI, you're dumb. And I can't really say it any other nicely way without sounding like a
It's
complete other version of myself.
right.
So the
It's
annoying thing
different.
is like it's
That's
different. So
true.
like the annoying thing is like and that's how this was created. Now originally, now if I wanted to go backwards in time, I could go backwards all the way to where, this multiplayer connection online didn't di- you know, did not exist. If you wanted to play a buddy, they had to come to your house or they had to meet you up in the middle of, New York City and basically put, nice little quarters down saying who's gonna, go the fastest, longest round on that wonderful joystick.
Right.
So, and everybody forgets from those arcades, that's how these controllers were eventually perfected and, designed to fit the best player option possible. But, someone says options and everybody doesn't have a clue or a brain on or a actual cell to understand what that really meant in the cultural enjoyment of the factor, which is kind of funny to me.
Yeah. It's you're right. I mean, it just
But and that but then, people like are suddenly waking
uh
up, as it were, to the fact that these PC people have been everywhere for the
huh.
longest time, and they're like, "Wow, I just got my ass kicked. This isn't fun." No shit. That's kind of why it's a multiplayer game.
That's right. You're supposed to work on your craft.
Like, it's like, I'm sorry, like that's just kind of funny to me. Like, you're not supposed to have fun unless you're actually good at it. Like, and the
That's
fun
right.
normally comes from actually working hard to
To
perfect
get
what
to
you're
it.
not good
Yeah.
at.
That's right. That's the beauty of
You know,
multiplayer game. That's
and
right.
that's why it's considered a sport because you actually have to work to get good at it.
That's
It's
right.
a muscle. It's a muscle, and it's a
That's right.
body and mental muscle as well.
That's right. Your reflexes, your mindset, and your reflexes is what it's all about. That's exactly right, man.
But
And
most people don't understand that, and then you get into the whole science factor about the older you get, the worse you get, unless you are like a perfectionist genist who's like perfectly healthy, which nowadays does not exist. But the older you get, the more sore you get, and then you have to have a backdrop, as we've discussed in previous years, for those who cannot do that type of high tech stuff anymore, and that's why options or, you know, different types of play anywhere concepts are good for the industry. That way, everybody has a piece of something they enjoy.
that's true. And nobody feels like they can't stay relevant in their with their gaming experience or how they game and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, because that
but then
that's
again,
another
the
factor
next
about
thing,
gaming.
but then the next thing I'm gonna hear, and this is kind of what I've been dying to hear since I was 7 years old, and those wonderful you know Quake lobbies to, Underworld, it's just mad fun because these people are now suddenly understanding, wait, why are these people camping in corners in Warzone? What the hell? Yo, what's up with this RPG BS? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's called tactical for a reason. It's called multiplayer PvP for a reason. The idea is to simulate you doing that in real time on a actual screen or otherwise, not doing it in real life. It's called an outlet for kids for a reason, even though I think Fortnite is absolutely insane, but that's okay. You know,
Yeah,
kids want
this
to
is a new
beat up each
generation.
other.
Oh yeah, the kid. That's
People
their
want to
that's their
yeah,
Pac-Man,
people
bro.
want to beat up each other because they lost a ninja in the cafeteria. Go right ahead, but
Yeah,
it's kind of
that's their
humorous
Pac-Man.
that
Oh, you talking about that? You talking about that side of it? Yeah, that's the crazy side of it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but Fortnite is the new game of this generation, man. That's it. There will be when these kids talk their gaming, they're gonna Fortnite will be what they bring up. That's facts.
yeah, like and I've already been in multiplayer lobbies on like Call of Duty, for example, and they're like, "Oh, I think this would fit better as a third person game," and I'm like, "Are you serious? I did not just hear that." So then I'll put like two kill streaks in his head and then he'll rage quit, which is mad fun. But again, it's rinse, repeat, repetition. That's also one reason why the BR can either work or it can fail because you have to have the engagement still there.
Nice. Right. That's true. And I'm ready to win me one, man. We haven't won one in a minute, but we are now. I was the one always getting hit for the defeat too. Suck, man. Not anymore, you punks. We're gonna get us a victory in high fashion style. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get one for the end. Oh, here we go, here we go. Ah, man. He hit me. Come on, bring me back. I'm trying to get one for the end, T Reaper. Oh, we got one though. We got one. I
There we go.
know.
There we go.
Good stuff, man. But yeah, man, like I said, I think the cloud is going to be the decisive factor. I believe Sony when they said that they don't have no way of competing with it. Um, I think that what Microsoft is doing now, the reason why they put those stats out is to let us know now that hey you guys, thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you guys for believing in our vision. And look, it's working. So now that the Xbox Series X has come out, now that the features have been explained, now that the 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 services and the stats have came out, next is the games. Phil has already said that the games are next, and then T Reaper, the power of the cloud is going to be the nail in the coffin. When that happens, there's going to be nothing else left. I'm going to say it and I'm going to say it again. There's coming a time where when you mention gaming, you're going to have to mention Xbox. I keep telling people that and they cannot believe me if they don't want to, but it's coming and it's going to be here sooner than you think. 2020 is going to be a beautiful year. It's the year of the Xbox fans, and after this, we will never be second as far as power, resolution, performance. You can forget that. That'll never happen again. The situation with the Xbox One will never happen again. So we enjoyed it. Yes, we got our heads beat up. For 6.5 years, we heard every dumb thing that can possibly happen. But we're here, and this is going to be one of the biggest turnarounds in gaming history. The biggest turnaround in gaming history for a company like Microsoft to come back like they did and just it's going to be worse. I mean, hands down to Sony, right? They sold over 100 million consoles. We clap for that. We clap for that. No, nobody's going to, hate on that kind of success. But you got to look at like TV said, evaluate the success. In 2020, you're clapping over console
Yeah.
sales. That's not a good look, man. And not
But again,
this day. Now, if it was in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, even 1990s, oh yeah, man, that would have been huge celebrations. But now in 2020, you can't console sales, man. Like really? Like nobody cares about that no more. It's the industry changed. It's not the same. These companies don't have to rely on console sales. That's not a market shifter no more. It's now it's
no.
service.
Well, now it's service, and for Microsoft, everybody got to remember it's always been a service.
It
That's
really
what it
has.
is. It,
It really
it
was.
it
Bill
is a
Gates said
home
that.
entertain.
Yep.
It's a home entertainment. Providing service is what it is. They make games for home entertainment to be better for evolution to come.
T Reaper, that's
Now,
it.
I, I wanna
That's what it
emphasize that
was.
because
Yeah, that's.
options low, middle, high. Now
Mhm.
this is where I'm going to start laughing if people start making really complaining issues about, oh, that's too expensive. No, not really. It
Right.
won't be because you will have a low option that is yet to be revealed, and you will have the middle ground, which will basically be right next to that PS5 popularity. And then you will have the elite of all, with the wonderful one symbolization right there. But the thing is no one will really understand what that is until it is legitly revealed. So it is kind of a very fun thing. But, you know, there should be always levels for different types of people. So some people are
Right.
very extremist, some people are very casual. And
Right.
I think that's kind of what I'm not going to speak for people that have a different opinion on this issue that was yesterday, but it kind of looked to me like that. The guy basically was doing something positive. That article, nothing was badly written in that concept.
No.
All
No.
he did, all he did was basically admit the truth, and that's nice. Okay, I'll take it and leave. As long as you admit the truth, I do not care. I did not know he was that age. He does not sound it, but I'll believe it. The guy's,
Yeah, I mean,
very well equipped,
exactly, exactly. And like I said, hey, I'm gonna keep telling people this. We cannot keep bringing age into factoring with gaming. It's not. It's not even the age issue. It's not. It that has nothing to do with it. It's. I think. Since you touching on that, we know the. We know. Hey, I know of one, and then I know one. Okay, so I'm gonna talk on the one person that I know. Okay, the person that I know out of this, and you know too, Reaper, I think that person was coming from a place of an inner correctiveness, right? A way you can come about things, even though they, okay, even though no one's in the position to tell another person how to be, put it like that,
No, yeah, or how to feel
or
towards
how to
something they
feel,
love and enjoy,
right?
or about their passion, so on and so forth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We get that. The thing is, that person was making a statement that we see it, and it's not. Listen, you can't. The thing is, this it's too real. Okay, people don't want to see this, like we talked about today. People rather hear a lie or try to downplay. But okay, but it happened. So let's talk about it, right? Since it happened, why would a person do that? Why would a person? Some people, well, it's jealousy. It's jealousy. That person's really not jealous. That person ain't never showed no jealousy type. It's I don't think it's that. What I think it is they feel like some a person uh reacts like other people should be obligated to hear or listen to whatever they say. And so if that's the case, the other person felt like, listen, you can be successful, right? You can have a good following, but don't sit here and see that make it seem like you are the voice for everybody. And I think I, the funny part about it, Reaper, is when you think about something like that, you have to be careful. It has to be timed right. People take things out of context. Um, the person didn't even attack the other guy. Honestly, the
No, he
fan base,
didn't.
yeah, the fan base came out. The other person was making a point for us underground kind of people, and was just trying to say, hey, listen, this type of stuff is going to happen to people with bigger subs, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's kind of like how that person was saying, because he was like,
No,
hey,
yeah,
listen,
no. All the person was saying was, this is what happens when people give you a boost and you already have a heads up on what you're doing.
right,
You can succeed a lot faster than other people. That's just
right,
the way of life.
right. Right. And listen, there's no knock to that person. Like I said, there you can't knock the hustle. That's rule number one. I'm not gonna knock nobody's hustle, man. But the thing is, I know for a fact that hey, it's all about support. And when the community says one thing but yet does another, even the community's at fault. Don't say that we're here to support and you really don't. You know, now that goes back to I can't tell you who to support. That's that's your given right who you want to support. But
Yeah, and
don't play
everybody
it off as if right. Don't play it off as if people are actually the same across the board. Because I am, and you guys know it. I'm the same across the board. And what I mean by that is if I'm not gonna support you, I'm not gonna follow you. I'm not gonna sit up here and pretend. It's not even about a like thing. It's just keeping it real. Listen, I don't know these people to not dislike them or not like them. So that would be silly on my part. But if I don't follow you or I don't talk or we don't talk, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that we do. That's the thing. That's the difference. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that we do. But if I do come around and we can cross paths, I'm gonna show you respect. Okay? And that's where I'm at. I can get along with anybody. It's just people think because you get along with a certain person that you agree with everything they are about. It's like it's gang related, right? This stuff ain't gang related. First of all, right. First of all, I'm a man about mine. Like me having T Reaper tonight. Oh, legal. He fools with T Reaper. Doesn't he know T Reaper? Listen, I know T Reaper, man. All right, we come from that same kind of area, but people grow up. People, that's not who he is in reality. I actually talked to the guy on the phone. Like that's the thing I was gonna say earlier. Stop trying to know people from a sentence that they put or a video that they put on social media. These are real human beings, okay? Real human beings. You get to know them and then you see that, oh man, they're just cutting up. And a lot of us are just cutting up. You don't ever see me take anything serious. You don't ever see me attack nobody. You don't ever see me do that. And you never see me beg for followers. You never see me bragging, T Reaper, about what I
No,
accomplished or anything. You don't
we're
see
very
that.
humble, but no, we're all very humble
Right.
beings in our own way. But like, those who really like the brand act one way, and that's how you can tell. And then those who are just casually towards it and use it as a pastime or a job, it acts another. So it's
Right.
really easy. Once you know the difference, how to tell, you understand who and what is talking to you,
And you want to
and
know
that is
something?
the
That's true.
and that
But you
is the
want
easiest part.
That's facts. And you want to know what I think? The final word for that. The final words for that. I don't think people care anymore, T Reaper. I just think people. I'm being
No, they
dead
don't.
serious.
Uh,
It's at the point where I
nah,
think people
all,
just
all they
don't
all they
care.
care about is why they, oh, this person died. Everybody now thinks that's the big sliced bread since wonderful. Yeah. Well, if I tell you, the little child is, the wonderful person, all grown, all little and not grown up yet. Yeah, I think you would care if Joe died as well. But that's just me.
It's just
So,
it's to me, man. It's just like everybody wants to
but
act like everybody want to act like
well, yeah, well
you
that
know
well again,
they
and
say
that
one
was kind
thing.
of my.
They
Yeah, but
say
that was
one
my
thing on
original
their
statement
quotes.
earlier.
You
Everybody wants everything their way. Everything wants their vision. The kicker is you can't have that because everybody's version of everything is not the same. So you can't
yeah,
please
that's
everybody,
facts.
but you can basically give people the experience they want on the device they want by option they choose, and everybody can basically experience it in their own way as they
Right.
choose. It's called options, it's called anywhere, and it's practically all in one. But people don't understand because they'll jump into this industry very early, so they stick that way because I noticed that when I grew up that once I saw something that stuck, I didn't I kept it there and I did not basically stop buying it because I know it works, and if something works I don't not buy it. So it's kind of with these, headsets. I loved my A40s. They lasted 6 years, thank God.
Oh, that's
Uh,
good. Yeah, that's
but
good.
these new ones are beautiful, and whether they have to be plugged into the Xbox or not, I actually enjoy the sound quality, and it sounds like it's working perfectly for stream too. So that's a good thing.
Right.
But like, and but I find it funny because everybody everybody will go into lobbies and think it's kind of the same thing. I'm like, no, it's different. There's different types for different folks. And there's different, styles for different folks, which is the other topic that people are now going to get slammed with because that's exactly where the industry is now going. They're going towards the third person, generation and how wonderful mathematics and geometry fit inside of a match, which I think is mad funny. But,
Right.
it started with Minecraft. I'm not really gonna say it didn't exist before, but it's just kind of humorous to see how they're gonna do it next. But I think it would actually be a rather beneficial. But I am RTS and FPS for life, so I don't really and blend
Right,
well
right.
with those
That's where
on a competitive concept.
right. That's where you function at. Exactly.
But I'm kind of curious what the next version of what that will look like will be. Should be interesting. you
Right.
know. And and then the fun part is like people, they'll listen to me and they think that's what I am, as you just said, and they also think I'm younger than what I actually appear, and that's
Right.
the very fun. That's the very fun, crucible Trojan horse that I have for everybody because I'm actually not that young.
Right.
Not anymore. I'm not, even though
Right.
in mind I might be still. So yes,
Yeah,
but
man. And
some
like I
have.
said,
Yeah,
don't look. At the end of the day, we're all here doing something we enjoy, right? The beautiful
yeah,
thing is, right. Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
but no, it's like, it from the very beginning, it's about, bringing entertainment and enjoyment to, fans everywhere inside their own living room. And now finally, after 2 decades of work, we can finally achieve that in a very simple and honest form that has been there the entire time, but just no one understood the suffix of what it meant.
Yeah. Yeah. It just
Which
took.
is,
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it just took a little
which,
bit longer for Microsoft because, and it does feel that way. But the reason behind that is because, man, they had to do so many changes to get things where they need
yeah,
to be. That's why people feel like being with Xbox, it's not explanatory, right? It just feels like it's not. You don't feel like you got that fulfillment connection with it because it seems like it's always changed. But
but then,
that's the
but
problem. But that's what actually happened. They actually had to change some things.
Yeah, but again, like that, with, Xbox being, the one and all box, the concept that it is an always online, kind of experience in a game culture type of way. And I'm not talking about, offline single player, PlayStation, experience that fanboys love so much. I'm talking about like the actual, community where, everybody will hit up in a clan, or, they'll do tournaments like your wonderful Call of
Right.
Duties are now, and they'll jump in parties. It's a community-based platform, guys. It's not, we don't value the culture the same way as the people who love, games that represent books for them,
Exactly.
put it bluntly. Yeah.
That's facts. Or
Yeah, yeah,
I'm. You're right. You know what? I don't even want to listen, man. You are
yeah,
right,
and I
right.
can keep doing stuff like that, guys, and it's very sad to make me make those jokes, but I'll do it, and it's mad funny to me, so it's kind of funny.
Yeah,
I'm
because
sorry.
it's just true,
It's not and it's
Yeah.
nonetheless but fact, which is why you can't really hate me for it.
Yeah, it's not
So,
like you're lying about it. It's just that's the sad part. Wish you was lying about this stuff, but it's not.
I mean, back in my day, and I praise the parents that get to raise their kids in the time now because the books that have been remodeled didn't look all colorful back in my day. They were pitch black white with nice little numerals on them to learn how to read. There was no coloring books that actually were illustrated the way they are now. Kind of
Right,
cool. I'm not gonna knock Joe for doing that to her product, but it's mad cool. I wish that was
right,
the case when I was little, but
right,
there's evolution in everything inside this world, and especially in the tech industry, and has been for going on for 40 years. And that's kind of the other Trojan horse everybody seems to nicely forget about.
right.
Someone's been doing this twice as long as the other person, and they kind of forgot what they built base to make sure that this didn't happen.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said, man, we're all here. That's true. We're all here doing something that we enjoy, right? Um, whether you are good at, excuse me, whether you are good at, you know, regurgitating gaming news, whether you're good at clickbaiting, whether you're good at, you know, breaking down stuff or being a student of the game, whether you're good at all those things, whether you're good at playing games, just showing your gaming clips. We're all a part of it, right? It's when
Oh yeah,
right. It's when it's not authentic.
we're all digital nomads in a sense, but some of us
That's
have been
right.
doing this way longer than others.
Right. It's
And
when it's no long. It's when it's not authentic. Okay. you can't. That's the only way you can truly get at somebody when something just doesn't feel authentic. It's not the fact of what they didn't do or what they did. It's authenticity. So if if I come off as somebody that's not being authentic, you have every right, T Reaper, to question me or to just question me. You don't have to say, you're not gonna bash me or bash what I help build for myself or anything like that.
No, no,
But you
and
can
I
question.
try to do
Right.
that every single time we go on Twitter because, it's like if I try to basically right hook you, but you basically will block and give a decent explanation of why you said what you said, I'll leave you alone, or I'll even join in the
Right.
conversation and be
Or just
nice.
talk. Yeah.
But like if you talk
Right.
BS over and over again, I'm just gonna autocorrect you every single time
Right.
until you get tired and bored and then leave or block me, and then I win anyway.
Right. It's like there's certain things that we do. We're a gaming community family, right? Some of us don't talk to each other. Some of us do, and but like that's the beauty of it all. But since we're all on social media, right?
Hmm.
There's no real reason why people don't get to know somebody. Like you don't have to assume. Like you see everybody. So if you really have doubts about somebody, reach out to them or try to. Like I said, you can't make somebody
No,
talk to
no.
you.
Well, yeah.
But
I was actually I was watching an incident about this earlier. Yeah, like guys, don't like resort to basically going to that person's house or making an extreme. Like, try to talk to them
exactly,
first.
man.
You gotta try to be civil before you take out the nice little hatchet and the Bowie knife and be ready to
Right.
Rambo
It's
them to death.
right. Cause stop trying to act like you know a person through social media because they're not they don't say the things that you like to hear. So therefore, you think that they're an enemy of you. Bro, you gotta stop that. That's like crazy, man. That's crazy stuff. Like people are not worrying about you like that. It's crazy, man. Like I've never seen anything like this, man. Like do what you do, right? Focus on your craft. Be great at what you're good at, and let everything else roll with itself. Hey, I didn't want to come up on here and play this Halo game. I told Reaper, hell no, man. I'm gonna look
You're getting
pitiful.
better though.
Yeah, look, that's
Getting
right.
better though.
See, I'm
You're getting
right.
better. You're
I'm
getting
I'm
better
I'm
though.
gonna look pitiful, man, coming up on here. But Reaper was like, man, come on. And if it gets pitiful, we'll go into the campaign and just have some fun on the campaign. But man, this is the first time I've ever played with this champion right here. Hey, he don't play it like he used to, but if Reaper starts playing this game like he used to, Reaper's gonna king it again. I've seen this guy. This guy
Well,
on
we just won
Halo.
2 times in a row. We just won
That's
two
right.
times in a row.
But I've seen this guy's clips back in the day, 4 years ago. I've seen it. I was The dude is hellacious on this game. Um, and that's the thing. Look, I came up on here kind of iffy. Now I'm like, hey man, I like it. I'm having fun playing Halo Online, just running around, and it's fun. I didn't even know the boards, but like I said, man, I'm not a noob when it comes to versus games, and I understand first
I
person
am actually
shooters.
I will actually be willing to go back to original Titanfall and see how how everybody's
That
now
would be
basically
beautiful. That would be beautiful.
swarming into those lobbies
I think
again
I might
now
have
that
to. I
they
think
have
I
been
might have
abandoned.
to. I think we can save that one for another show, T. Reaper. I'll download the Titanfall. That would be funny.
Yeah, yeah, I don't have it downloaded anymore either. It's in the
Right.
ready to
It.
install area.
Yeah, I'll have to hit you up again, man, and we'll download it. We'll have some fun with that Titanfall, man. That'd be funny. But hey, man, listen, it was good to have you tonight. Talk over some things. Just have a good talk on the porch, man. We're on the porch of Xbox, chilling out here in the hood in these streets, man. And listen, look, we can let everybody else talk about the rumors, talk about all the other stuff that we be seeing all the time. But it was just kind of refreshing. Thanks, T Reaper, to just come in here and talk about a little bit of the cloud, talk about a little bit of how you think that the all the levels of degrees of each Xbox that may come out, and future plans of
different
what my
levels of it, different,
hmm affordable
different
level,
choices for different folks. Yeah, different
right,
choices for
different,
different folks. You know, and
exactly,
and it and it and the choices and the options are made to fit that specific choice that you choose to do,
right,
all in one. You know,
right.
but that the I think it's amazing that we managed to do this in 25 leap years. I think that's insane. And I think Dr. Phil really should get credit for how this man started at a at an early age of a programmer, learning how to talk how he did now, and then 30 years later, he's actually even more efficient than pretty much half the entire Microsoft staff,
That's
which I
true.
think is massively funny. But at the same time, there are younger ones of us that can, still read what he says. So it's kind of still kind of fun, and it's kind of a passive education in a sense.
That's true. That's true, man. Well, man, you want to close it out? Anything final last words you want to say to anybody out there, man? Any shout outs?
Well,
Anything?
I just want to give a shout out to pretty much everybody that has been helping me recover and
Hmm.
regroup. I am enjoying my. If anybody is actually wondering where I have been, because
Hmm.
I have actually now started to get requests about that. I am now officially now completely on Instagram. I will come back one last time for one last YouTube video of my choice, but I am waiting for a certain thing to happen before I can choose to do that. So the fun thing is I'm on Instagram and it's legitly my same name as my tag, just with different parentheses. But it's I have over 2,300 followers now, and I actually am enjoying quite my time as on that different side of the culture once again. It wasn't
Yeah,
that hard to find everybody, and the welcoming that I received from all those golden people were absolutely amazing.
yeah, man, that's good stuff. And I checked you out over there, man, and you're doing pretty good, brother. And it's good that, like I said, it's good to have you in the Xbox community, man, doing some good things over there. And you just keep
Yeah, I mean,
going,
like,
brother.
yeah,
Keep going.
I mean, and I'm like one of those people now that, I'm trying to be really reserved because of the pandemic, because the pandemic, it's not easy nor is it cheap to basically keep surviving every single day. It's rather, I'd say, healthily painful, I should say.
Right,
But,
and
as long as I keep my stress down, I don't go outside very often,
that's
I
right.
can continue to breathe on a daily basis, which is kind of fun. I like to
Right.
basically still keep breathing because I like this controller. But
That's
at the
right,
same
man.
time,
And you'll be
you
all
got
right.
people saying, and you got people saying that, oh, it's not that bad. But I'm like, you got to keep in mind some of these cultures, they've never
Right.
been inside for more than 20 minutes every single morning. Everybody, most
Right.
time people,
People on the
go,
go.
their nine
That's
to
right.
five. They go to 9 to 5. They eat and they go to sleep.
That's right.
They don't actually know what it means to be like this.
That's
And
right.
that was kind of the point of what happened in the 90s and the 80s. Is that we really had to make a choice as a culture what you're going to do to that generation when they basically choose to flip.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned it, man. I want to say, if you're done, are you done?
Uh, and then I also want to like just give a nice little nice little shout out to those who have like really grown, as I've basically been watching from everywhere, including our wonderful friends on Twitter. That is, whenever I'm bored on a morning,
Yeah, man, I
trying to
know it,
wake
man.
up,
Those
if
guys
you
are
guys
something else
wake
over
me, if you
there.
guys wake me up, I do not go back to sleep. So that
Right.
is kind of a fun afternoon activity.
Shout out to
It
everybody out there on
normally
the Twitter streets, man. Y'all are something else, man. I tell y'all, y'all keep me laughing, man. Keep it up, man. Shout out to them. Let's clap for them. Clap for them, man. Clap for the Twitter, the Twitter streets out there, man. Y'all are wild, man. Y'all are wild. I love them though, man. It keep like you said, man. It's somewhere we could go, man, and have a good time and laugh and poke, and it's beautiful, man.
Yeah, but like
It's
the
beautiful.
I just like it's not the exclusives aren't the only thing that exists in physical realm
Facts.
of gaming. And if you
Facts.
say that all I have to do is look at a simulator and I'll tell you that's not the case because I can see
Facts.
Lion King from Sega on my freaking thing. No, I'm
Facts.
sorry. That
Facts.
and that's very very old. So that's not the case anymore. And people,
No.
different strokes for different folks, and people,
Right.
some people enjoy wrecking the living crap out of, 30-year-old lobbies, and then other people, enjoy, that nice fairy tale that was never written in actual text. But you'll
Facts.
read it on screen in text, which makes no sense. But okay. But, I can't blame Link and Wonderful Zelda. They're awesome.
That's right. I just want to say, man, across the board, with the pandemic and all this stuff going on, man, There's people that have passed away from this thing. It's very sad. It's very unfortunate. It's very real. So don't play this thing like it's fake or anything like that. Don't be silly. Be cautious. It's always good to be extra cautious, people. Like, hey man, there's nothing wrong with being extra cautious. There's nothing wrong with being safe for your own life, for your own survival. Be courteous to other people, man, and make the time to, give people their proper space. Don't make fun of them just because they might be insecure. Hey man, people are, like I said, people are dying out here. So, people, if you see them in a car and they got the mask on with a shield over their face, some people may do that, man. But some people may understand that, hey,
Uh,
I'm in my car, I can't affect myself, I'm okay. But I poked a little fun at that, but there's some people that are just taking extra, extra, extra precaution. And listen, if
yeah,
you
I mean,
are one of those
and
people, it's
and
okay.
and
It's
yeah,
okay.
and trust me, if your wonderful Target or Walmart turns into a clone version of, Red Dead Redemption 2 online, that's the way it's gonna look like in this world from now on for at least 12 to 18 months,
Yeah,
you know?
it may get
But,
real. Yeah, it may get real.
but I will tell every citizen that listens to this, like, make sure you know how to breathe. I'll tell you that, because then that really depends on what you wear over your face. If you
Right.
can breathe fine with a medical mask, do it that way. If you breathe better and
Yeah,
need the
just make sure you
extrovert
breathe
air
good.
by bandana, then
That's right.
then there you go.
That's right. Don't
However
suffocate
loose it
yourself.
just yeah, don't suffocate yourself and make sure you can breathe in and outside air.
That's
Now the
right.
problem
Facts.
is when you go into older generation stores, that toxicity hits your lungs like a BS
Right, because
thing
there's
on
no
earth.
circulation. Right, they don't have
Yeah.
a good
And the
ventilation.
toxicity is both coming off of that person's gene, atmosphere and your own. So that is what's
Right.
making you suffocate. That's why you have to, basically cover your face. But
So
when you go outside, it feels like a freaking fresh
yeah,
beer that just went down your throat.
that's right. So be aware of what you're putting on your face as well. Good stuff, T Reaper. For that, we care. All right, we're in the gaming streets. We care. Gaming is doing a phenomenal job of bringing community sense. Parents are playing with their kids. Parents, raise your kids, man. Take this time to really appreciate your kids. Kids, appreciate your parents. Families, love one another. There's nothing. Listen, man, this is cool stuff, right? People are in their homes. They're watching movies together. They're eating together. They're cuddled up together. This is crazy, right? Like, hey, man, this is what families were supposed to be doing. We've gotten so caught up into this fast life, like Reaper said, getting up, going to work, putting on clothes, getting up, brush your teeth, put our clothes on, get to work, come home, go to sleep, get up. It was like we're programmed, and we never took the time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everybody. When I speak in general, we never took the time to just stop, smell the roses, and be appreciative for what we have and the people around us, and slow things down. And some people always been like that. Some people have got it. They never slipped off in that category, but the majority have. And listen, we're here. Um, if all you do is come up on Twitter and you're negative, hey, we're still here. You're still here, and we're still glad that you're healthy and nothing's wrong with you. If you're one of these people out here that are so positive out here, hey, you're here, and we appreciate you. It's the bottom line is this social media. Listen, it takes more energy to sit out here to make fools out of yourselves on social media than it is to just keep it real with yourself. So just keep it real with yourself. Be safe. Hey, keep playing, keep gaming, reach out, have fun within your communities, and hey, the Xbox One, y'all. No, I know, y'all wasn't expecting that, but at the end of the day, Xbox won this round, baby, and we can't wait to see what's in
Yeah.
store. What Dr. Phil, Uncle Phil, Killer Philler, and his squad has got in store for us. We are so excited and we can't wait. T Reaper, thank you, man, for reaching out to me today and coming through and jumping in the party and did this show, man. I like what you talked about, bro. And like I said, anytime, man, you can just hit me up, man, anytime. And if I got the time, we're gonna do it. You know how we do it here, man. We just do
No,
it. We do
no,
it out of the
I
blue.
appreciate
We don't
I
plan this
appre I
stuff.
appreciate I appreciate the opportunity and that time put into put this up. It's been fun. I miss actually talking on a mic. I just got my new mics
I'm so happy,
yesterday.
man. I'm so happy.
I I'm enjoying these things. I think the wireless versions eventually will look more doper, but that's just me. But these things, I don't mind having to sit next to my computer. I mean, I got the one that works for both, so it's rather
There you
nice.
go. Right. There you go. Get the one that works for both, man. So
Yeah, so if
before we go, I meant to ask you. Hey, did you get Gears Tactics? Have you got it, or do you plan on playing it, or what?
No, I don't. No, I do not plan on playing that at all. Next Gears I want to play is Gears 6 in the
Okay,
end.
I got you. I think well, since I got my Xbox and I don't use my PC for gaming, I just gonna have to wait it out, man. But hey,
No.
man, all I'm hearing
No,
is
but
good
I
things.
am I
Hearing good
but it's not
things.
like I don't it's not like I don't pay attention. Like Bleeding Edge, for example,
Right.
I was entertaining company, and part of my company was going balling and having a blast on
Oh
Bleeding
man, it's
Edge.
so fun when
So
you yes,
yeah,
when you
yeah,
have a team.
he was having a blast. So people do like that type of stuff, and I've
Yeah,
witnessed it with
dude.
my own goddamn eyes.
Listen, man, when you have a team and you're playing that game, it's astronomical fun. But if you don't have a team, it's brutally garbage. And it's not, it's not garbage because it's garbage. It's garbage because there's no mercy. It actually has a no. It has a Gears of War no compassion about you at all. You're a noob. You coming in there. You don't have a team. We don't care. They beat you down. They make you feel like, why did you even come up on here? Why did you waste your time? And 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 it's funny. The characters are right. If you know how to play the characters, you got to learn them, and that's what I like. It's not a
No,
hold your hand
well,
game.
yeah, no, like
Learn
the
those
next
characters and
the
learn
next
how
stage
certain
of
characters play together. It's deeper
yeah,
than just getting on there.
you got to know the mechanics of each
Hmm.
player to understand your play style of play. But in the
Exactly.
next generation, we're gonna go into a new stage of gaming, experiences that no one's ever seen before, nor has been used to
Exactly.
before. So I think I'm looking forward to see how you take, your FPS concept, you upgrade that to the higher echelon. I'm looking forward to seeing how you take a third person and evolve it into the next stage of mathematicals. And I'm looking forward to seeing what type of wonderful generation the Gen Z kids grow up to
That's right.
enjoy. Because
That's right.
I think the Fortnite, BR concept is not really gonna go away, more like it just evolve into something more appropriate to the brand
Right.
section.
Well, you guys, hey man, that's about it for the show tonight. Thank you all for coming by. Thank you all. Thank T Reaper. Thank you, man. Can't say enough. Hey, we're gonna end it. We're gonna get out of here, get some sleep. Hope you guys really have a blessed tomorrow. Be safe out there. And hey, this has been the new legal representing Direct Gaming. And till next time, guys, you guys are amazing. And we will see y'all soon. Thank you very much. We out of here.